Manga-Waido.
My name is Naoki Kayama. After graduating from university, I work for a medium-sized restaurant chain, and I'm currently the manager of one of the restaurants. Our company gives us a lot of freedom, but other than that, it is quite rough. The pay is low and the holidays are few. I guess someone like me in his 40s should just be grateful to have a place to work during these bad economic times. But of course, it's rewarding to see customers enjoying their meal at our restaurant. When the staff is working energetically and lively, it cheers me up too. The little happiness I find in my daily life is what makes my life worth living. Then one day, something happened. I went to work at the restaurant as usual that day and received a call from the head office. It was the usual area manager, but how come he called me to the head office instead of coming to the restaurant? I wonder what it is. Did I do something wrong? I went to the head office with a sense of fear and found Usagi, the manager, and his subordinate waiting for me.
I see your restaurant is seeing an uptick in sales.
I wiped the sweat off my face with my handkerchief, relieved. Yes, thanks to the hard work of all the staffs.
I see. You're giving them time off in violation of company rules to boost morale?
When changing public holidays, you must always notify the head office. How do you explain your failure to do so? I was at a loss for a response. Since it is a restaurant, the staff usually takes days off on weekdays. Therefore, if they need to take a day off on weekends for weddings, funerals, etc., they are supposed to take a paid leave. However, since it is difficult to take paid holidays for anything in our tough company, we had to change the desired day and the official holiday day if offered. Normally, this should be reported to the head office, but it was also an unspoken on-site rule from the previous manager. However, I dared not report it because it was an unspoken on-site rule from the previous manager. And if my superiors knew about it, they would complain not only to me, but to the staff members as well. That's why they pointed out to me.
And what do you think about the fact that you're providing a service that's not included in the manual?
I tilted my head as I couldn't recollect that right away.
You let customers use one of the private rooms for free, which includes an extra charge.
Well, the customer's baby started crying during the meal, so the customer got concerned and tried to leave in the middle of the meal. So we let them use the private room. The rule is that you have to pay for the room. The managers of the other restaurants claim that once you start doing that, you might get customers who try to use the private room for free in other restaurants. I couldn't bear to burden the young couple who had come for their wedding anniversary, though I offered them a private room that was available. But I didn't think they would understand.
Anyway, this case is your responsibility. The private room fee will be deducted from your salary. Staff member who switched their days off will be given a severe warning.
No, but...
That's it! You may step down.
I was kicked out of the room without being allowed to argue. As long as you're a member of a company organization, the company's rules are absolute. You cannot disobey your boss's orders, even if it is unreasonable. I just have to adjust. One day, when I was feeling down telling myself this, an elderly female customer fell down in the restaurant. The restaurant had a step that we had been concerned about for some time, so asked the head office to repair it, but they refused, saying they could not come up with a budget for it. When we reported the accident to the head office, the person in charge of accidents at the head office came and checked the site. He found no fault on the part of the restaurant and left. However, I was concerned, so I went to visit the woman on my way home from work. A few days later, Usagi and his subordinate came to the store without notice.
I came to see the face of someone who can't follow the company rules.
By that you mean?
I heard that you went out of your way to visit them even though head office found no fault.
That's...
We don't need someone who goes against the company. You don't need to come in here from the next month.
What? Wait! He turned his back and walked out as soon as he said that. And so, I was fired from the company. It's not so easy for a guy in his 40s with a family to change jobs. When I was having a hard time, my wife's parents approached me to start some kind of business using the land and building they own in the suburbs. There's no point in dwelling on it. I'll just take it as a good opportunity to quit the awful company. With my wife's encouragement, I decided to open a Western-style restaurant, a dream of mine since I was young. It was only a short drive from my former company as well. I knew the area, and I might be able to make it work. One day, while I was working hard on preparations, renovating the restaurant, and filing the necessary paperwork, I received a call from an unexpected person.
That's so cold of you, manager!
Reika-san! Her name is Reika, and she was a chef at the last restaurant until a few years ago. She was well known not only for her cooking skills, but also for her likable personality. Sorry, it was a sudden turn of events for me too.
I hear it was a sudden dismissal. That's fine, but if you don't mind, I'd like to work at your store, Kayama-san.
What? I was surprised, but to be honest, I would gladly do anything for her to come.
Also, Yuiko-san said she'd be happy to help you here too.
Yuiko was a staff who worked at the last restaurant as well. She was a very caring girl. I was just thinking of recruiting some staff. I'd love to have you. And so I was able to start work with 2 former staff members who could do the job. And the opening day arrived with a sense of optimism. The restaurant of my dreams started off smoothly with the help of the staff who knew what they were doing. The restaurant's creed is to serve delicious food at reasonable prices while maintaining a peaceful and relaxing atmosphere. That's what we stand for. And hello! Oh, you came!
Long time no see, manager. Oh, wow. What a nice place.
This is also a staff member from our previous restaurant. He invited his friend to come today. Thank you so much. Coworkers from my former workplace came to the restaurant one after another, bringing their friends with them. At lunchtime, many people who lived in the area gathered here as well. It was hectic. We're really lucky to be located in a place with no other competition.
I'll help you out.
It was one of my former coworkers who was here as a customer. Sorry about that.
What are you talking about? You've been a great help to me, so let me do this.
The restaurant became more and more lively as people gathered inside. I glanced outside and saw a man peering into the store from a short distance away. I wonder if it's hard for him to come in since it's mostly people I know. Despite my concern, the man was opening his phone and quickly walked away.
Manager, how about this for today's menu?
The memo that Reika-san showed me was full of names of delicious-looking dishes. Great! I'm sure the customers will enjoy this. On this day, the restaurant had a reservation for a private party, with a course for 20 people, and Chef Reika was getting excited.
It's a little over our budget, though.
That's fine. Right now, reputation comes first before money. Let's make our customers happy.
Yes!
The two of them eagerly began preparations for the evening. But
They're late. Shall I call?
the customer didn't show up even after the reserved time. Let's wait a little bit longer. Half an hour later, there was still no sign of the customer.
I'll call.
Yuiko's face turns grim as she grabs the phone.
Oh, they seem to have their phone turned off.
Maybe there's something going on. Let's wait. However, even after that, we were unable to contact them, and in the end, the reservation was canceled without notice. And the next day, Yuiko raised her voice in front of the computer.
How awful!
I looked at the screen and saw that our restaurant had been heavily criticized on one of the review sites.
This is all a lie!
Indeed, there was a list of things that I had no recollection of.
Maybe it's someone trying to harass us after what happened yesterday.
While Reika-san and I were talking, Yuiko continued to look at the computer.
This person.
Yuiko was looking at the 10 footprints of the people who wrote reviews.
These are mostly stores near my old office. Plus,
Yuiko hesitantly said,
it's the restaurant the manager invited me to. What do you mean?
Yuiko told me that Usugi had asked her out to dinner several times at her former company. She didn't expect it to be one-on-one, so she took Usugi up on his offer. After that, she was persistently followed by Usugi and went along with him several times. The restaurant he visited on those occasions was marked by his footprints. Just then, the door opened. It was Mayumi, a former coworker of mine who had been coming in lately.
Is lunch over already? Uh-huh. What's with the gloomy look on everyone's faces?
After explaining the situation, she looked into the computer.
Huh? Wait a minute.
She pulls out her phone.
I knew it. Look at this.
The photo she showed me on her line was the exact same landscape as the harassing reviewer.
It belongs to Uesugi-san. I was sexually harassed by him. And he halfway forced me to exchange a line with him.
Really? Why is the manager harassing such a small store like this?
Manager, you really are naive, aren't you? The That old manager has been very jealous of you for your popularity for a long time.
What? Me? Popular?
You didn't realize that, huh? Anyway, manager, I have an idea. Will you let me handle it?
Okay, but, what recourse do you have? After listening to Reika-san's plan, we all looked at each other and nodded slowly. A week later, at exactly 7 p.m., a woman walked into the restaurant.
Hello, my name is Mayumi Hasegawa, and I made a reservation. Oh, manager.
A muggy shadow comes in from behind her.
Is this your store? Make sure you serve me well.
I invite them to a seat in the back and left them alone for a while. Then Mayumi gives me a look. I connect my eyes with Yuiko as she approaches Usagi with a wooden bottle. Usagi, oblivious to this, was struggling to seduce Mayumi.
It's nice to be able to go on a date with a pretty lady like you.
Oh, you said the same thing to me.
Yuiko said as she poured a glass of water.
What?
Usagi noticed Yuiko and winced for a moment, but...
How rude to the customer!
You said you wanted to be with me forever, didn't you?
Usagi turns around and the woman sitting in the back smiles at him.
Right?
No idea! What's wrong with you all? Kayama, do something!
Reika-san, who was in the kitchen, stepped forward in front of Usagi for me.
It's been a while.
Reika!
You really haven't changed, have you? When I was your subordinate, you sexually harassed me a lot. And when the company was about to find out, you transferred me to a different department and pretended not to know. I was young, and there was nothing I could do. So I cried myself to sleep.
I have no idea! That's a lie!
A lie? We have all these witnesses here.
Witnesses? You're not telling me that the company...
We've got you on our security cameras. We could file a complaint against you to the headquarters anytime.
Usagi loses his balance and stumbles to the floor.
I'm sorry! Please don't do that, please!
All those reviews. It's you, isn't it? First of all, take that down. Also, you were the one who made the reservation for the 20 people, right?
Usagi remained looking down.
Same-day cancellations will be charged 100% of the fee. Please pay up exactly.
Usagi walked out of the restaurant after I made him pay all the money he had in lieu of a deposit. After that day, the harassment stopped. According to what I heard, Usagi's power harassment and sexual harassment became a problem within the company, and he was forced to leave the company. I heard that his colleagues who remained at his former company found it easier to work. After that, Usagi returned to his hometown, but a former subordinate in another department sued him for power harassment. The word spread in his hometown, and he was unable to get a new job, let alone leave his house. I felt a little bit sorry for him, but he deserved everything he got. He should reflect on his actions at the very least.
Manager, we're opening for lunch.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm working happily as usual, serving delicious food. Hope I get to see the smiles on the customers' faces today, too.